Energetic heart is multi-leveled and holographic, meaning that it encompasses the dimensions of life that range from the mundane, dense, three-dimensional environment to the mystical and supernal dimensions of first source. At its core energetic frequency, it is coupled to the grid of love that interpenetrates all dimensions and all life. At the point of this coupling, the heart beats within the soul, similar to how its rhythms pulse through the body electromagnetically. The heart of the human soul is in accord with the heart of first source. Remember, we are created in the image of our Maker. Within this heart of hearts is the transmission upon which we all live and have our being. It is from here that we have been diverted, our attention split into 1,000 directions, forgetting, no, underestimating our heart's intelligence and the ease in which we can apply its special powers. The stresses of life also cast you in the direction of the pleasures of life, as well as its mysteries. However, you must find and then choose your direction into your heart's intelligence. It cannot be forced upon you, yet too few understand how to reach inside their energetic heart and activate its transmissions so it can be broadcast via the human instrument's innate capabilities. Diversions of the mind and underestimating the value of the heart are why individuals do not understand how to activate and broadcast their energetic heart. The heart is often seen as subordinate to the mind-brain. It is confused as the seat of emotions, for which the heart has become a rogue, non-verbal intelligence suited to the impulses of anger and fear as well as love and compassion. In truth, there does not exist a more stable force within the human instrument than the heart, nor a more intelligent source of perception. In ancient times the heart was regarded as the seat of soul. It was the gateway between the world of soul and the world of the body-mind. It has, in the science of the last 300 years, undergone a repositioning as a mechanical pump of remarkable biological properties, but nonetheless, a mechanism of blood distribution and little more. In more modern times, metaphysicians have placed the heart within the emotional frequencies, signaling its place in the astral plane, or the plane of emotions. They reason that the heart is the emotional and feeling center of the body, therefore it is not governed by its own intelligence, but rather the intelligence of the mind. Metaphysics has quietly relegated the heart to a position of emotional expression that must therefore be aligned to the mind centers, which operate as the active, guiding principle of the human instrument. It is this repositioning of the heart's mission and function by both science and metaphysics that has diminished its role in today's world, and this is not by accident. While the mind-brain is overshadowed by the ego, it posits that the heart is its instrument, when indeed it is more truthful to say that the mind-brain is the instrument of the heart. The time is rapidly approaching when the heart's intelligence will be rightly understood as the primary source of human connection to the divine intelligence of our Creator. Its perceptual capabilities and resilience of spirit is a result of this intimate connection to First Source. It will become the mirror by which humanity sees, in high resolution and irrefutable detail, the wonders of the human soul. I will tell you a secret. It is, as with all things vital, a simple, elegant, pure, and rational behavior. It is the smallest of activities, and it is wordless. It is impossible to feel the puffery of ego in its midst. It is this: feel yourself connected to your Creator at your heart, but release the flow of love that comes your way. The Creator's bequest is always flowing your way in the form of love. It enters you in your energetic heart and travels its way to your body. From your heart it touches your brain, and releases hormones into your bloodstream that, over time, perfect your transmissions. Feel this process. Be aware that it is occurring. Consciously co-create its occurrence. And when you do, release it with the simple command: what comes to me flows through me. Do you see how simple and elegant it is? There is intention, or co-creation. There is visualization. There is the activation of feeling connected. There is release. There is outflow. There is heart-centric focus. And there is the lingering appreciation frequency. There is a wisdom of the ages that has been lost in time. It states, the heart is the place we must daily face, for there we find ourselves. Focus of the heart. I know there are many of you who are drawn to read and study the spiritual works. Many of you feel that your purpose is to expand these works, to bring new vision to the ancient site. You desire that your purpose be linked to a grand expression that touches many in a positive way. I understand all of this and more, but truthfully, I tell you that your mission and purpose, if subjected to a distillation process, can be found in the 3 paragraphs above. Letters arrive daily as to why additional materials are not being released upon the wingmakers.com and lyricus.org websites. I understand the desire to learn more about the structures of the cosmos and what is happening upon Earth. In part, it is why I've released this paper at this time. But the materials I have come to convey are not all destined for those present in this time. They are for future incarnations, for reasons I have already spoken to. Your thirst for knowledge is admirable. Your thirst for experience in the other dimensions waxes and wanes from fear of the unknown. Your thirst for heart intelligence is more powerful than you imagine because you relabel and redistribute it as the thirst for knowledge and experience. This is because you have focused on the third eye, on the higher mind, the crown chakra, the cosmic knowing, and you have struggled to bring knowledge and experience into your mind. There is nothing wrong or misguided about this. It is natural and is part of the encoding of those present in this time. I am only explaining that it is time to shift to the heart. It is a fair question to ask why. Abundant knowledge exists on this planet relative to man's spiritual quest and ascension career. It does not require layers upon layers of embellishment. Indeed, these layers, in many cases, create the new filters and densities that obscure the pure understanding inside your hearts. This is a time of creativity and co-creation. It is not a time of reworking, embellishing, or enlarging the knowledge systems of the past, and there is a reason. Human destiny is focused on establishing a new, higher dimensional consciousness on Earth, and in so doing, creating conscious, two-way linkages to the multiverse, and the entities, and beings therein. As we ramp up to this shift in consciousness, each of us will require an enhanced creativity and intuition, which is the very fiber of our energetic heart. When I speak of creativity, I'm not speaking to the activities of art, music, or writing. I am talking about the ultimate creativity, creating new perceptions of your reality. When you view your reality through the prism of your energetic heart, your reality will shift in the direction that humanity itself is shifting. In other words, there is an alignment between your view of reality and the future reality of humanity. In this alignment, there is power to leverage in achieving the shift, or leaping over the hurdle. This is why it is so vital. It is also why it touches so many. You can spend the rest of your life creating the new words, the new brush strokes over the old, and you will touch, if you are very fortunate, thousands of people. But where will you touch them? In their hearts, in their minds, in their pocketbooks? You can activate your heart intelligence and apply it in your everyday life, and over a period of a minute, you can touch the entire grid of humanity. In principle, this functions as a result of how the grid of love is engineered to be porous to an input frequency that is compatible to the grid itself, and then transmit this input across the grid as an energetic add-on. If the frequency is not compatible, the input will be locked out of the grid. It is not the purpose of this paper to explain how this works in detail. Perhaps in a later paper I will make known the physics behind this grid. Potentials and choice. There is a part of you, quiet as it may be, that asks a logical question. If First Source is so powerful, omniscient, and the source of the highest love, how and why does an individual like me make any difference? If you didn't have the potential to make a difference, you would not be here. The operative word, in this case, is potential. Having this potential is precisely what defines the individual, because with potential a choice must be made. If we could leave everything to our Creator, we would be comparatively less valuable, a commodity of the cosmos. However, each of us carries the possibility to transmit into this universal grid of humanity and contribute to it, not because it requires something of us, but because we require something of it. The gesture of placing your heart of hearts on the palm of your hand and offering it to your brothers and sisters in selfless contribution is the ultimate sign to First Source that you are prepared for the dimensional shift. A signal must be offered, and it must be the exact signal, or it will pass into lower dimensional grids that do not have access to the energetic pathways to transport your signals to the central sun. There are many grids that encircle the planet and human consciousness, but only one interpenetrates all. Only one is inclusive without exception. And it is this grid that is being engineered to accommodate the coming shift. You can think of it as a shoehorn of humanity's consciousness that will move the Earth to a new dimensional state. The stronger this grid is, the better it will serve its ultimate purpose. Heart maps. I understand the tendency of individuals to want clear-cut maps that state definitively how one should go about activating and transmitting their heart intelligence. If there were such a map, it would undermine your own creativity and resourcefulness. The things that matter in one's life, relative to one's purpose, are neither formulaic edicts nor mantras. They are feelings and how coherent and unconflicted they are transmitted. It is only natural to want clarity and a sense of I'm on the right path. If I could draw a map of this adventure into your heart and give it to you, it would not be done with words or actions. It would be drawn with feelings and the energetics therein. It would be done with an energetic transfer that you would catch, fleeting as it may be, but it would be something you could feel. In these words and images I've tried to weave together an energetic transfer. You must do the catching and carry out its resourceful application. The brain is not the primary receptor of an energetic transfer. It cannot absorb the subtle frequencies and textures that intermingle in the feeling world, dancing in rhythms that exceed the speed of light. It is only the heart that can capture the intrinsic meaning of these energetic transfers, and sometimes this does not translate to the mind. This condition can leave one with the sense that the heart map, or energetic transfer, was never received. I can only tell you that if you read this paper and listen to it from a heartfelt perspective, there is a transfer. A map is being imprinted within your energetic being, and it is activating a region of your heart intelligence that will, over time, step forward as a map maker. Final words. I acknowledge that this writing carries a dark side to it. I hope I have done what I can to reassure you that the events on the horizon, while alarming, are also activating to all involved. Everyone is touched by the happenings of this planet. Everyone. Remember this. You are with all of us. Feel the textures of this declaration as deeply as you can. It will support you in times of hardship. Know that everyone, this includes you, no matter how they may appear in life's conditions, is trying to do their best amid the commotion that permeates the planet and, by association, their personal life. This is the root of compassion that grows in your innermost heart. As this paper states, you have the potential to receive and transmit a frequency and intelligence of love that issues from the central sun, or first source. This potential requires your choice to reach for it, to make it part of your new mission. In doing so, you have signaled your readiness for the planetary transition that lies ahead, and you are making a contribution so this shift occurs with greater balance and stability. There are aspects of this writing that have been purposely vague. For example, what is the purpose behind this dimensional shift? Who is orchestrating it? When will it occur? And what is the new dimension going to be, in real terms? I have remained focused on the more personal aspects of this impending transition. In future papers I will share more about the changes in the dimensional environment that will be occurring. From my world to yours. James. References. 1. Event strings. Event strings are engineered experiences usually by multiple sets of consciousness to create conditions that are favorable to the expansion of awareness. They are used by the Lyricus teaching order to orchestrate individuals to awaken to a new concept, awareness, or to cross paths with a particular teacher or teaching event. Event strings are catalysts to connect individuals with new concepts and energetic transfers that regrid an obsolete mental model. They are most commonly used to shift awareness within the initiated light workers who are the vanguard of human destiny. 2. Animus. The Animus, as depicted in the Wingmaker's materials, are a synthetic extraterrestrial race that desire to become soul carriers. They lack the biology and sensorial system to house the subtle frequencies of a soul. They desire to engineer their race's future genetics with the help of human genetics. Because of their superior mental capacity, they have become aligned to the economic powers on Earth, as advisors and technology enablers. 3. First Source. First Source is a consciousness that inhabits all time, space, energy, matter, form, intent, as well as all non-time, non-space, non-matter, non-energy, non-form, and non-intent. It is the only consciousness that unifies all states of being into one being. And this being is First Source. It is a growing, expanding, and inexplicable consciousness that organizes the collective experience of all states of being into a coherent plan of creation, expansion and colonization into the realms of creation, and the inclusion of creation into source reality, the home of First Source. 4. Energetic heart. Across all dimensions of space there exists a primary field of vibration or quantum primacy. This field is non-physical but informs the physical. It exists independent of the physical structures of existence, and is known among Lyricus teachers as the underivative information structures, UIS. UISs are sub-quantum and represent the primary blueprint for living systems and inorganic matter. It is UIS that gives rise to the quantum fields that interpenetrate planets, stars, galaxies, and the universe at large. It is the communication field of life that connects the non-local and the local, the individual and the collective, the one and the infinite. The energetic heart is the non-physical component of UIS that is the entryway, or portal from UIS to the intuitive and intelligent centers of the soul carrier or human instrument. In a sense, it is the sub-quantum blueprint of the physical heart. 5. Human instrument. The human instrument consists of three principal components: the biological physical body, the emotional, and the mental. These three distinct tools and systems of intelligence and perception, in aggregate, represent the vehicle of the individuated spirit as it interacts with the physical dimension of time, space, energy, and matter. In Lyricus terms, the human instrument is referred to as the soul carrier, and the soul consciousness within it is activating the sensorial system of the soul carrier to enhance the soul's influence within the physical world. 6. Source intelligence. Source intelligence is the energy consciousness of first source that is cast into all worlds, all dimensions, all realities, all life forms, all times and places. Source intelligence, in effect, is the eyes and ears of first source, and its role is principally involved in expressing, upholding, and sustaining the will of first source. On a more personal level, it is a liberating force of energy intelligence that serves to accelerate the expansion of consciousness and assist those who desire to delimit themselves. 7. Prefrontal lobes. This area of the brain is considered the latest evolutionary extension of the brain system. It functions as the source of our most advanced intellectual capacities, including our ability to compute, reason, and analyze, as well as acting as the brain's processing center for the emotional frequencies of the heart like empathy, compassion, and love. Moreover, the prefrontal lobes oversee or regulate the overall brain system, facilitating or inhibiting lower brain functions that resolve our ability to regulate our emotions and control our impulses. 8. Heart-independent sensory organ. The heart starts to form in the body of the fetus before the brain. It is also autogenic, meaning that it beats independent of a signal from the brain. 9. Heart, electromagnetic field. The electromagnetic field of the heart is approximately 50 times stronger than the brain, and it radiates, as an electromagnetic field, toroid in structure, about 15 feet beyond the body. This electric field is constantly shape-shifting, undulating, yet exceptionally stable in its energetic field. Its organic presence is palpable and vivid to those whose sensorial system is tuned to the heart's inmost frequency.